everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today, we're going to talk about the ancient secret of chakras, how they can align your soul and attract your destiny. Chakras. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to say something that's kind of been on my heart lately. On this channel, I know we concentrate on relationships. And when you look at relationships, it's a lot of areas that make up a happy and loving relationship. It's not just about targeting the man or whatever the problem is with the children or whatever. It's the total self. So on this channel, you'll notice that sometimes I talk about food because you need to be eating properly. Exercise, you need to concentrate on your health. Wealth, we talk about how to attract money in your life. You don't have to be poor. And your happiness. And for your happiness, raising your frequency and your vibration toward the vibration of love. Now, chakra is your energy centers. And the chakras there are 7. Look at my fingers. There are 7 chakras, and they spin around in your spine, up and down your spine, like a wheel. It's energy. Now, the objective is to balance all of the energies and not just to be stuck in the lower energies. Now, these chakras start at the base of your spine and move up toward the crown of your head. Each chakra is connected to a different aspect of your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Today, I'm going to be taking information from this book, The Comprehensive Beginner's Guide for Chakras, and it's by Janice Amberly. Okay, I hope that I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And I will leave a link in the description where you can get this. Comes straight from Amazon, and you'll have it in a day or so. So let's dive into this material, because this material will help you to understand frequency, vibration, and energy. Okay? Let's start with the root chakra. It's linked to security, stability, and your basic needs. That's why we say in the low, very low vibration, that's where your root chakra is. And it's always in survival mode. All right. But also in that same energy, you can have fear that your basic needs might not be met. So a lot of people get stuck right there in that root chakra, in that survival mode, and never rise up in the energies. Number 2 is the sacral chakra. It's below the navel, connected to creativity, pleasure, and relationships. Look how close the sacral chakra is to the root chakra. Okay, so we still kind of in the low vibrations right there. And a lot of relationships are full of fear and insecurity and out for your basic needs. Your solar plexus, that's the 3rd one. And it's in the upper abdomen, associated with confidence, willpower, and personal power. So here we are in a solar plexus, and this is where you're going to have your business sense, your confidence that you got to build up. That's where you have to work on it, right in your solar plexus. And your willpower. How much are you willing to put in to accomplish whatever your goal is? Your willpower, or are you just going to give it up? Now, what about the heart chakra? I always say that when you get into the heart chakra, you're getting into the higher frequencies. This is in the center of your chest and governs love, compassion, and emotional balance. You're not always looking for pleasure. You're looking for a real, wholesome, loving commitment. By the time you get to your heart chakra, you're balancing all of the other energies. But that's not the end. You still got to go to the head. And this is your spiritual growth from the heart chakra to the head. The next one from your heart is your throat. It relates to communication, truth, and self-expression. All right. And this is in the higher frequencies when you can speak with confidence and with truth. You are not looking to deceive anyone. You're not looking to scam anyone or use anyone. You speak the truth. Next, okay, we're at the throat. Let's go to the third eye. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about how do you open your third eye. It's ridiculous if you haven't worked on your chakras. You're not opening anything. You have to raise your vibration to that level. A lot of people are not telling you that. They're just telling you, oh, you know, you just concentrate on the middle of your skull and it's going to open right up and you're going, If you're not at that frequency, nothing's going to open up for you. You're just wasting time. And that's what happens. Then they lose faith because it didn't work. Well, nobody told you how it works. They just wanted to jump the gun, give you this knowledge without the wisdom of how it works. So you must raise your frequencies to get to this third eye. It's between the eyebrows, linked to your intuition, your insight, and wisdom. Once you get there, your intuition gets pretty strong. And your intuition will tell you things that, you know, you might not be ready to hear. But at that point in time, you seek wisdom. You seek the knowledge. And you learn to trust your intuition totally. You don't question it. Now, your crown chakra, this is up here, at the top of your head, represents spiritual connection and higher consciousness. So from your heart to your crown, that's where your spiritual growth is happening. But a lot of people think they're already spiritual, but they're still dealing in the lower chakras. As a matter of fact, you'll see some teachers that'll get on and try to tell you all about spirituality and all of that. Of course, there's mixed religion in it. And then the next thing you hear is that they're cursing people out, they're fighting in the street, they're doing all kinds of things. Well, wait a minute. They are deceiving you. They are deceiving themselves. You can tell from the way that a person handles themselves, if they are true or not. That's number one. And number two is, on this spiritual journey, there's no flipping back and forth. You either are or you're not. Okay? You don't say like, I heard a lady who got upset with me one time, and she was very close relative. And she tells me, I might be a Christian, but I'm going to lay this Christiana down and I'm going to do so and so and so to you. Oh, what? Wait a minute. What's that? You may be a Christian, but what? And you know what? You hear these people say these people are not spiritual. If you are on a spiritual path, it does not match with Christianity and maybe any of the other religions. If you are spiritual, you are working toward a higher consciousness. And these chakras are very important for that. And I'm showing you these examples because people claim to be in the higher chakras, but then they're doing things in the root chakra. And anytime anybody wants to fight or curse or whatever, like, that's the root chakra. Okay? Because that takes care of your basic needs, your survival. And when you feel like you're being attacked, it's about survival. So you will attack back. I'm going to give you some basic steps how to raise these chakras, how to activate them and start moving up toward your higher consciousness. Walk barefoot on grass or soil. You know why? Because you are an electric being. You put your feet in the earth. The earth is electric and it rejuvenates you. Eat grounding foods. like veggies, nuts, beans, things that will help to ground you. And plus, you're not putting in energies from animal protein. Because remember, that animal protein is full of energies from that tortured animal. And even if the animal wasn't tortured, I mean, you raised them on the farm or whatever, you know, and then one day you go out there and you grab one of them chickens and you wring the neck. You don't think that's torture? They may not know it's coming, but it was traumatic when it happened. Now you're going to fry them up and you're going to eat them up. You have just lowered your vibration. You went all the way back to the root chakra. Affirmations, which are very important. I know at one time I was doing a segment on daily affirmation. Just didn't get enough participation, so maybe eventually in the future somehow I will weave it in again, because your affirmations are very important about raising your frequency. So with affirmations, the more you say to yourself, I'm safe, I'm loving, I'm happy, the more times that is said, it gets reprogrammed into your subconscious. And it changes the way that you view the world, takes away blockages in your life, and shows you more opportunities. Okay, so those affirmations are extremely important. Dance. You know, we talked about dancing before. You know, dancing can raise your vibration. Okay, so you want to work on your sacral chakra, which is that chakra about pleasure. Put that energy into dancing around. You know, journal. You know, when I first started my spiritual journey, I have almost a whole library of journals. I mean, I bought these little notebooks, and every day I would write down my feelings and what was going on with me in a journal, and things that I desired in my life. And I'm going to tell you, this is amazing, because when I look back in the very beginning on my journal, I have already achieved a lot of things that I wanted to achieve way back years ago. So it's important to write it down, and you can look back at it later, and then you can really see your growth. Start being thankful for everything you have right now. Not things that you're going to have, but right now, be thankful for it. Even if it's a very little bit, be thankful that you have that little bit. And the more gratitude that you show, the better your life can become. Just putting that out into the universe, that energy. Practice silence. You know, I always say go to your sacred space. And by this time, if you're operating out of your crown chakra, you probably already have a sacred space. You know where you can go and be alone and be quiet and do your meditations, and you do it every day. So when your chakras are balanced, energy flows freely through your body, helping you to feel grounded, creative, confident, loving, expressive, intuitive, and spiritually connected. So, you know, I've given you certain things to do to raise your vibration. And once you hit the crown, you know, you should be balanced, but you want to keep things balanced. So you still need to do the basic steps just to stay on track. If one or more chakras are blocked, if one or more chakras are blocked or imbalanced, it can show up as struggling in those areas of life. For example, fear around money, root chakra, creative blocks, the sacral chakra, or difficulty speaking your truth, it's the throat chakra. Balancing your chakras is about creating harmony within yourself so that your inner energy supports your desires. I hope that you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.